Hello and welcome to the 2026 Ms. Behavior podcast. I'm Colette.
And I'm Kurt.
We'll be your hosts. We host this show for professionals in the field of college student conduct or peripheral and student affairs. And we welcome you if you're a new listener, and if you're a returner, Happy New Year to you. It's great to have you back. Kurt, how was your New Year?
It was great. Happy New Year to you.
Thank you.
How was your break?
Man, long extended. Our family just left 2 days ago.
Wow. That's a lot of extroverting.
But man, I'm always so sad when they leave full of sugar and sodium. And the first thing I did last night was go for a run on my treadmill. How about you? What did you do over your break?
This is the first time I took additional time around my break. We get a lot of time off, but I think I was off for 2.5 weeks and it was glorious. Highly recommend. I feel like I completely unplugged. I didn't look at work stuff at all. So a lot of good downtime. Spent a lot of time with the family, but also a lot of relaxing, binge watching TV. I did not get on the bike. I do regret that. I feel like there was an opportunity to do some working out that I did not take advantage of.
Are you a resolution maker?
I tried this year. Typically, I try to set goals that align with our fiscal year at college. So my goals are July 1 to June 30. But Brandon and I were talking about resolutions, so I thought I would try them. Most of mine are health related. I had that magical goal weight that I think I'm going to be happy at, and I am committed to getting back on my stationary bike at least 4 times a week. But also, I think I'm starting to feel like I want to be more intentional about friendships. So I think a lot of my social interactions end up being through work and the nonprofit I work with. So I'd like to get some game days on the book for 2026. Just some fun that doesn't involve work.
Yay!
What about you? Are you a resolution person?
I've had a hard time this year. Some year I'll have a whole list of them, but not that I'm going to share right now.
Are they scandalous?
No, I don't know why I'm so embarrassed. They're kind of spiritual. I'm doing kind of like a prayer practice, and I'm embarrassed to talk about it because I don't want people thinking I'm some religious weirdo, but I just, especially right now, just trying to think of things that are bigger than all of us. It's taking practice. So I'm trying to do some reading every day and like a meditation practice that goes along with that.
One of my goals a couple years ago was to meditate every day. I was not entirely successful, but I did for a year. I felt like it helped, and I'm not, religious or spiritual person. For me, it was just about starting the day feeling centered and not waking up in a panic like I normally do.
The chatter sometimes that I hear in my own head and messages I send to myself are all the things I talk about like with students, like this is a shame-free zone. I don't want you to feel embarrassed about things. And yet my own voice inside my head is constantly telling me like, oh, messed up there. You should feel guilty here. And it's true.
The things we do to ourselves. I do have I use Insight Timer for meditation, and I have a nighttime one that I listen to that's just positive affirmations as I'm falling asleep, because I think I'm prone to picking my day apart. And rather than thinking about all the things I didn't do right, just listening to somebody tell me that I'm an amazing human being it's nice.
I love Insight Timers. Some of them, they're so nice when they'll say like, dear child or loved one. I'm like, oh, thank you. I needed to hear that. Yeah.
Why?
Thank goodness for Insight Timer.
So you had a lot of family over break. What else did you do?
Watched way too much television.
Same.
I'm a loyal consumer of the television. Any favorites?
Heated Rivalry and Pluribus consumed a lot of my break. How about you?
I actually wondered if you might want to talk about Pluribus in relation to our work.
Yeah.
Interesting that we didn't have any resolutions that were related to work. Although, well, sort of. Just us being healthier people.
Yeah, yeah. I have a nonprofit one about an endowed scholarship, not directly. It's work, but not work. But Pluribus,
Yeah.
Carol is I identify as a Carol. I It's so interesting to me on so many levels. I find myself wondering what she's thinking because there's a lot of silence in the show. And as an introvert, I recognize that as somebody who's thinking a lot. And I just want to know, like, what are the notes going through Carol's head as she's navigating this wild situation?
I'm trying to think about how we talk about this to not spoil it for people who have not watched it, because I would recommend people watch it
Yes.
if you can. It's from the same writer who made Breaking Bad, so the writing is very nuanced, I guess. How would you describe it to somebody who's never seen it before?
Gosh, it is smart sci fi in the Breaking Bad universe. Because Rhea Seehorn was also on Better Call Saul. I don't know if you watched that. She was Kim Wexler, I think was her name. Yeah, it's very thought provoking. I think it was one of those. There's not a lot of TV that I anxiously await, but Friday I was like, I can't wait to get home and watch this week's episode. So it kept me on the edge of my seat.
It's sort of a. I think the trailers even say that she's the most horrible woman on earth, but she has to save humanity. And you were a Star Trek person, if I
Yeah.
remember, almost like a Borg or Stepford Wives ish sort of vibe, where everyone has become part of this cult or society.
And it's great for me just to see LGBTQ characters centered on TV because her character is a lesbian in the show. So I love that.
Yeah. My husband and I deeply disagree about the fundamental. The cult is good. It, it's
Wait,
just that
you think it's good or he thinks it's good?
I think it's good. I, in some ways, it's a utopian society.
It is. It's also weird to me the whole rule about not being able to kill anything to the point where they can't even pick an apple off of a tree.
Right.
Yeah,
Which
that's
is,
wild.
it is.
Like to me, it speaks to issues of like group think. Like I
Mhm.
mean, literal group think, but like also taking things too literally. Like,
Yes.
yeah,
And that's what it reminds me of our work, of like creating these campuses where there are all these rules about how to be with each other. Like, we're gonna all do whatever, and if with good intentions, but where's the freedom in that?
see, you're such a rebel. I would think that you would be Team Carol versus Team Colt because Carol's like railing against the whole thing the entire time versus just succumbing to it because, well, yeah, no spoilers. But,
Yeah, I don't know.
and see, this is what I love about the show. It does make you think. And I think so much of the TV that is available these days is you just consume it mindlessly.
Yeah,
It's not, I'm not saying it's not funny or it's not. This makes me think. And I think about it during the show. I think about it after the show. I think about rewatching it. I'm not much of a rewatcher, although Heated Rivalry, I have most certainly rewatched several times. But yeah, I think there's something in there about. I agree with you about just the nature of rules and society and people going along with rules without thinking about the broader context and meaning behind them.
the unintended consequences of good intentions,
Yeah,
like making dating things instead of educating about them in a
that's a good
complex
point.
way. But, what if you could get rid of war, get rid of violence by just making
Forcing people to
people.
conform by lobotomizing them.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
superficially they might be happy.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it is a. I think in all things, we're looking at the show presents extremes, and I
Mm-hmm.
think the reality is there's always something in the middle that is probably a better solution where people have autonomy and the ability to choose those things instead of having them forced upon them, which is sort of like community standards.
It is. It is. So almost like a really great community was developed, and then now they're trying to impose it on another place
Well, that's a good
without
point.
without the evolution of it happening on its
Yeah.
own. I keep using the term with Rod about the greater good. Like, is there a greater good that does need to be considered here?
I think there's a long term question with this too, because the practices around how they can consume food and
Yeah.
what is considered food for them are not sustainable. So, something can immediately work and then long term have detrimental consequences. And I think that'll be interesting to explore as the show goes on.
Yeah, I think just pragmatic questions about population control, and there's so much, and there are not enough episodes. Are there other like hobbies, like television for me definitely is a guilty pleasure, but I do watch things and I can't help myself, but I do think about how they apply to work. I wondered, like, do you have hobbies that people might think are completely wild and like your way to get away from work that maybe does make you a better college administrator?
TV is an escape. I don't know if it's a hobby for me. And I don't think it makes me better at my job. Hobbies. I do a lot of volunteer work with my nonprofit. I do think for me it's a hobby. I can take some of the tools that I use at work and refine them in a different setting. I have two fish tanks that I am semi obsessed with, and for me it's sort of meditation. I just like to like cleaning them and watching the fish. Is that a hobby? I don't know. I
Yeah,
love it though.
I didn't
They're
know
adorable to
that.
watch. I can see one from my desk. My other one's over here.
Oh,
Yeah, I think this is the first. I've had fish tanks for a long time, but I finally have fish tanks that are self-sustaining. So I did a lot of research figuring out like I don't know. And to your point about health, mental health, I think anything that we can do to improve that part of our lives just naturally makes work better. What about you though? I do know you have some hobbies and interests outside of this that I always thought, I'm thinking back to 20 years ago, I'm like, that doesn't make sense for a college administrator.
are you
But do
talking about
tell.
my love of the band Kiss?
Yes.
Man, I was obsessed. I love Kiss. I took a break. I took about a 15-year break because I think I indulged a little too much. But I even wrote a novel that had a tie-in with Kiss. I went to see them 2 years ago at their very last show.
Is it this novel right here?
My gosh, look at you! My gosh, it
This
is.
is a stack of my prized possessions. A signed Colette Shaw novel is in
My
there,
gosh.
and
Well,
the
I don't.
documentary.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you were. I think you were in the documentary we made
I got
about
an interview. Yeah.
people who
Where does that
have.
live?
You know what? I should upload the. That was
We should
back
do
when
that.
things were on DVDs
Yeah.
only. But yeah, we made a film about people that have like double lives, but they both kind of are mutually beneficial. I always thought Kiss made me a better administrator. Their whole philosophy is just, be brave and it's okay to be a weirdo. Just embrace yourself. And I don't know, that's what I took away for it. Now I listen to songs like, there's a song called Rise to It. When I listen to it, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna rise to this moment. And the song is really not about that. Well, it is. It is.
Who is it? Is it Kiss?
Kiss.
Okay.
And many of their songs are just, sexual metaphors. And yet, for me, it's like this, like, be a good college administrator. Yeah.
I think there were also some Kiss inspired opening day remarks a couple of times. I remember you jumped up on a table one year and got all the RAs and hall directors whipped up for what was about to happen as the cars were about to descend on campus.
Oh my gosh, they probably did inspire me. The morning pep talk of moving. Yeah.
Move in day.
Now though, less than Kiss is my love of sport and the Buffalo Bills in particular. And I've always loved sports coaches, so I've actually followed coaches more than I'll follow a team. And I love different philosophies of coaches, like Phil Jackson and his Zen Buddhism approach to basketball coaching. But the Buffalo Bills are known for just a culture of good and
Now, is that a
caring.
table tennis league? What the only sport I watch is heated rivalry. What are the Bills?
It's an NFL football team
Okay.
who kind of defies bro culture. The team has full-time mental health staff as part of
Wow.
their staff. They're sort of wholesome. Like you don't hear of a lot of Buffalo Bills like in the news for terrible things, or they don't last very long there. But they just really love each other and they build this culture of care and getting to know each other as humans before they get to know each other as players. And I like coaches that can take a team that's really a mess and building it slowly through just good practice and not it's not win at all costs. It's like it's the good stuff. It's team. It's love. And what they do for the community. Buffalo is a blue collar industrial city that it's cold, it's hard to live in Buffalo and this is a thing that gives everybody hope and I wish that their coach would write a book. I always want to read like how did they become these incredible leaders.
I'm a fan of anybody who chips away at toxic masculinity. So that's nice.
Yep.
You should reach out and do a collab. Ask if you can ghostwrite his book.
Oh man, my little chatter voice is telling me you're not good enough to do that.
Oh my
Maybe
gosh.
my resolution needs to be brave.
You wrote a whole novel. You can
Rise to it,
ghostwrite
as
somebody else. Yeah,
Kiss
do it.
would say.
Rise to the occasion or whatever that is.
Yeah, yeah. I was in a conduct meeting this week and people were sharing things that they do to just sort of feed themselves. And one person mentioned watching General Hospital every single day. And it was just fun to hear other people talking about hobbies too. Maybe this time of year inspires that.
Yeah, I like thinking the idea of downtime, unlimited downtime, and what you could do with it. Retirement is around the corner for me, I feel. So, just kidding.
What would you do at the time? I would love to hear people to write in or even make a little video of yourself and tell us what things kind of feed your soul.
Yeah. I am curious to know, like, is there sort of a theme with a conduct officer's hobby?
I would too. Could you predict any?
My hope is that it is so wildly different from the day job. Something like, they're a karaoke superstar in their spare time or drag racing, something
Yes.
where they're pushing boundaries, anti-conformist. And then during the day, they have to help students navigate, administrator by day, rebel by night.
Back when I was like doing all the Kiss stuff, I think everyone could relate to having that secret part of themselves, but my favorite one was this guy who did Renaissance fairs all the time and the full like outfits and I just love like you never know what feeds someone.
I have never understood the Renaissance allure. I have a lot of people that I care about that enjoy that. I went to one and it was a lot of, elaborate outfits and giant turkey legs, and it didn't do anything for me.
I think just community maybe.
Yeah.
Like it's just yeah.
Fantasy, escape,
Yep.
jousting. turkey legs, all of that.
Well, it's great to be back. I'm looking forward to getting started with students super soon and digging into this work of student conduct.
T-minus how many days until you're back in session?
2 days.
Okay, I think we're about 14 out, so you'll dip your toe in first.
All right, I'll have stories. Thank you for tuning in, y'all, and we would love to hear from you. We'd like to know what sorts of things you ponder this time of year and how we can start our year off right. Misbehavior is written and produced by Colette Shaw and Kurt Doan. Theme music was written and performed by Kevin MacLeod from Incompetech.com. You can contact Ms. Behavior at msbehaviorcollege@gmail.com. That's msbehaviorcollege@gmail.com.